I analyzed MrBeast's entire business, every revenue stream, every company, every number that is leaked publicly, and I found something that completely changed how I think about YouTube. His channel has nearly 500 million subscribers. He averages 250 million views per video, and his YouTube channel lost money in 2024. Not slightly, not rounding errors. Beast Industries recorded a loss of $110 million last year. So how is this man worth an estimated $2.6 billion? That is the question. And the answer is a system that any creator, even someone starting from 0 subscribers today, can understand and begin applying at their own scale. I am not going to show you how to copy MrBeast. You cannot copy his budget, his team, or his audience. But by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how his system works and the 3 parts of it that a new creator can actually replicate right now. If you are new here, this is the Income Guide. We break down how successful businesses and creators actually work, with real numbers. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next breakdown. Now let's get into how MrBeast actually makes money. Let me show you the math that confused me when I first looked at this. MrBeast's main channel gets roughly 1.3 billion unique viewers every single quarter. Each video averages around 250 million views. At YouTube's typical AdSense rates, that generates approximately $1.25 million per video. Each video costs $3 to $4 million to produce. That means every single video MrBeast publishes loses roughly $2 to $3 million before a single dollar of other income is counted. He described his own business model to Time magazine as something you could call stupidity, reinvesting everything, burning through cash, refusing to extract profit from the content itself. At one point, his personal bank account was nearly empty despite owning a company valued at $5 billion. He had to borrow money from his mother to pay for his own wedding. So where is the $5 billion coming from? Because the YouTube channel is clearly not it. The answer is a single business that most people who follow MrBeast have never thought about seriously, and it is the real reason the entire YouTube operation makes sense. In 2022, MrBeast launched Feastables, a chocolate and snack brand. Most people saw it as a creator merchandise play. It was not. It was the profit engine the entire YouTube operation was designed to fuel. In 2024, Feastables generated over $215 million in revenue and over $20 million in profit. It is stocked at 30,000 retail locations including Walmart, Target, and CVS. Bloomberg projects it could hit $300 million in profit by 2026. This is not a merchandise side project. It is a consumer goods company that happened to have the most effective marketing channel in the history of advertising already built in. Here is the insight MrBeast calls the 1% principle, and this is the thing I want you to actually sit with for a second, because it changes how you think about what a YouTube video is actually for. If a video gets 250 million views, he only needs 1% of that audience, 2.5 million people, to buy a $3 Feastables bar. That is $7.5 million in revenue from a single video. The video cost $3 to $4 million to make. After Feastables revenue, that video made money. The YouTube channel is not a business. It is a marketing expense, the most efficient customer acquisition system ever built, pointed directly at a product he owns. The ad revenue from YouTube is just a bonus that partially offsets the production cost. The real return comes from turning viewers into customers of something that has real margins. But here is where it gets genuinely interesting for us, because MrBeast also tried this exact same strategy with a different product and it failed completely. And the reason it failed tells you exactly what the system actually requires to work. MrBeast Burger launched through ghost kitchens, restaurants that would cook his menu items and fulfill orders through DoorDash and Uber Eats. It looked identical to Feastables on the surface. Massive audience, famous name on the product, immediate attention at launch. The fundamental problem was invisible until it was already too late to fix. With Feastables, MrBeast owns the customer relationship. He has an email list, an SMS list, a Discord community with over 400,000 members, and a loyalty program. When someone buys a Feastables bar, MrBeast knows who they are and can reach them again directly. With MrBeast Burger, every order went through DoorDash or Uber Eats. Those platforms own the customer data. MrBeast had no email, no contact, no ability to market to a burger customer again without going back through a platform he did not own. He was renting customers instead of building them. The burger business is now in a legal dispute with its partner and has largely faded from relevance. Feastables is on track to be a $500 million brand. The lesson is not about burgers versus chocolate. It is about whether you own the customer relationship after the first sale. Any business built entirely on a platform someone else controls, whether that is DoorDash, Etsy, Upwork, or YouTube itself, is one algorithm change away from losing everything. The creators and businesses that build long-term value are the ones that use those platforms to acquire customers and then move those customers onto something they own. Now here is the part that actually matters for you, because most of what MrBeast does is not replicable at a small scale, but 3 specific parts of his system are, and you can start applying them from your very first video. The first thing you can copy is the mindset about what a video actually is. MrBeast does not make videos to earn AdSense. He makes videos to send attention towards something he owns. For a new creator, the equivalent is not launching a chocolate brand. It is understanding that your content is a trust-building machine, not an income machine on its own. Every video you publish is building an audience's familiarity with you. That familiarity is the asset. AdSense is what trickles out of it while you build towards something bigger. The something bigger does not have to be a consumer goods company. For a creator at an early stage, it could be a digital product, a newsletter with affiliate income, a service business, a community with a membership fee, or a course, anything that you own directly rather than receiving a platform's cut of. The content drives people toward it. The owned thing is where the margin actually lives. The second thing you can copy is the 1% principle, and you do not need 250 million views for it to work. If your video gets 10,000 views and 1% of that audience buys a $27 digital product, that is 100 people buying at $27, $2,700 from a single video. The math works at any scale. What changes is the number of people at the top of the funnel, not the structure of the funnel itself. The third thing you can copy is owning the customer after the first interaction. MrBeast Burger failed because orders went through DoorDash. Feastables succeeded because it built a list. For a creator, this means building an email list from day one, not when you hit 10,000 subscribers, not when you feel established enough, but from the very first video. A link in the description, a free resource in exchange for an email address, a newsletter that supplements the videos. The email list is the one thing no algorithm change can take away from you. YouTube can demonetize your channel overnight. Your email list is yours regardless of what any platform decides. And the final lesson, the one that most new creators hear but almost none of them actually do, is the one about reinvestment. Because this is where the MrBeast system gets genuinely hard to follow and the honest reason why most channels plateau and stop growing. MrBeast reinvests almost everything. His CFO and his mother control his bank accounts by design because he does not trust himself to not spend the money on bigger videos. Every dollar the business generates goes back into content, which drives more views, which drives more Feastables sales, which generates more profit to reinvest. That flywheel took years to build before it generated real returns. For a new creator, the version of this is simpler, but the discipline is identical. Whatever your first video earns, put a percentage of it back into the next one. Better audio, better visuals, more time spent on the hook. Better editing, a tool that speeds up your production. The creators who grow are almost always the ones reinvesting into quality, rather than the ones treating every dollar as personal income from day one. I also want to be honest about the timeline, because MrBeast's numbers make it easy to assume this happens fast. MrBeast spent years reinvesting everything into content before Feastables existed, before the flywheel kicked in, before the $5 billion valuation. The structure of his system is replicable. The timeline is not compressed. The creators who build something real are the ones who understood at month 1 that month 12 was the goal, not month 2. Here is the breakdown. MrBeast's YouTube channel loses money on purpose. It is a marketing expense that powers a consumer goods company generating hundreds of millions in revenue. The 1% principle means you only need a tiny fraction of your audience to buy something you own for the math to beat anything AdSense will ever pay you. The burger versus Feastables lesson means owning the customer relationship matters more than the size of the launch. And the reinvestment principle is what separates channels that compound from channels that plateau. You cannot copy MrBeast. You do not need to. What you can copy is the logic underneath the scale. Content builds trust. Trust converts to customers. Customers belong to you if you build the right infrastructure from the start. That system works with 10,000 subscribers the same way it works with 500 million. The numbers change, the structure does not. The full breakdown of how to actually set up the owned infrastructure for a new creator, the email list, the digital product, the funnel, is in the next video on this channel. And if you want to see how other creators are building real businesses on top of their content, subscribe now because that is exactly the direction this channel is heading. See you next week.